This is Yvonne Sims. In this episode of Strong and Courageous, I'll be featuring Alicia Castrogiovanni, a diligent woman. Now hear from Alicia how finding her purpose has helped her become diligent.
Hi, my name is Alicia Castrogiovanni, and I am a woman of diligence. I've always wanted to be a better person and constantly striving to do more. I was never satisfied with the status quo. I always wanted to do more, be better, and not necessarily better than the next person, but I know that there's so much more value that I can contribute to any given project, all of my hobbies, my schoolwork, and I always strived to be the best. I would say one of my Goliath moments that was a pivotal moment in my life was the fall of 2008, right after I graduated from NC State with my master's. I was burned out. I had gone through a master's program in 2 semesters. I would never suggest that to anybody, but I had completed my bachelor's and my master's in 5 years. And by the time I graduated, I was so exhausted, I was depressed, I was overweight. I didn't feel like I had any purpose. You probably are wondering, well, why, after I just accomplished, not only receiving my bachelor's, but also my master's, I didn't really feel like the degrees I got were fulfilling. I was disappointed the fact that I didn't feel confident going into the field that I got my degrees in. I was putting a lot of my self-worth and value in my education and not really reflecting on who I was as a person and why am I here on earth to serve and to love others. I didn't know how to use my gifts and my talents in this world. So that was my major Goliath moment, and it honestly brought me to my knees. And, when someone doesn't have a purpose, you lose hope. When you lose hope, you lose faith, and you start losing faith in yourself. It really hurt my relationships. Both within my family, my friends, the relationship that I was in at the time. I started questioning myself and if I had any value. And it was that point when I realized that I was actually hurting those around me and losing those relationships that I turned to God and I started going to church. And that first day at church, I think I cried a river, and that was the new chapter. That was a new chapter in my life, and ever since I started going to church, I put myself in a small group Bible study with women that I knew that I could trust and built me from the bottom up. God has transformed my life in a way that I never would have pictured for myself. I think when I was younger, I picture growing up to be what I thought was perfect. You always think of the American dream. You go get a great education, you go get married, you have a family, you settle down, and then what? And life is just so much more. It's so much more than that. And from that point in time when I was really, really depressed, unsure of myself, unsure of my self-worth, God has just come in and given me a clean sweep. He showed me my value. He showed me what I can bring to the table in terms of relationships. I'm not the same person that I was in 2008 than I am today in 2015. I love more. I give more. I cherish the people around me more. I don't take things for granted. I live my life with gratitude and wanting to serve others. And that's just a light that can't go out. I think my best advice would be to always have an open heart, remain humble. I think for me, the most important thing was humility and really allowing God to work on me. I can't blame anybody else. I can't point the finger. I have to focus on myself to become that person to serve and to love more. And that's how I can create a bigger impact. And really, at the end of the day, we all want to influence others in a very positive and enriching, fulfilling way. And in order to do that, I have to humble myself. And I humble myself to God first. and I allow Him to speak to me, and I try not to take control of the situation. I allow Him to do it for me, and that takes humility, patience. And I also believe that being a courageous and strong woman means, for me, having relentless faith. I can't do anything without believing and knowing that God says who He is, and that He will provide, and that He always answers and keeps His promises. And that relentless faith, again, that diligence, keeps me taking a step forward. Even if you don't know where you're going, take a step. A compass can't point you in the right direction until you start walking. And I think if anything, God just wants you to take the first step. And even if you don't know where you're going or how you're going to get there, just put one foot in front of the other and He will direct your steps.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Strong and Courageous. I'm your host, Yvonne Sims. To hear more stories of strength and courage, visit my website at YvonneSims.com or my Facebook page at Yvonne Sims. Until next time, beloved, be strong and courageous.